General reading. It's like general. I need a reading. Fire family, welcome back to whatever the fuck this is. It's your host with the most, Mr. Meyer with the fire. Here to take the collective vibration higher. You guys get enough red on the screen? Can you see me? Yeah, it's good to see you. Beautiful day. Even more beautiful with your face. Thank you for gracing my page. Ooh. Pretend it's not Thanksgiving, because your eyes are about to feast on the most beautiful reading you've ever seen. Today is September 23rd, and I just finished posting the podcast for the astrology of the week, which is until September 30th. So this really is going to cover the energy of the week, but at the end of the day, this is also a timeless reading because you know how the internet works, man. If you found this video for some reason, it's the reason there. I'll let you figure that out. But let me tell you, these past cards tell the story of someone who is drastically changing their life and moving towards more peace and pleasure. It looks like you had a lot of powerful connections in your past with the Six of Cups, and some of them went really bad. Oh no, with the Six of Wands in reverse, it'd be like that, man. You win some, lose some. So this has helped you really consider what is reciprocity, what is real love, what is real balance. And those are the past oriented cards. This middle card, which stands to where we are today, is kind of sussed out, looking over our shoulder, Seven of Swords, skeptical, auspiciously guarded. Yeah, cunning, thinking. But also, I see there's, and so these are the next three cards, which do kind of refer to the future, even though this is the past level of the spread. You've got a restless energy as well. Or maybe this is reflecting a restlessness in the past, the Four of Swords in reverse, the Five of Swords in reverse, feeling internally defeated, and then kind of hopeless. Gonna keep it a buck, man, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. These are hard battles, man, and I just want to acknowledge you for being here today because this hurts my stomach. This gives me the energy of somebody who feels isolated, like they have a hard time trusting other people, but at the same time, having to shift all your trust into yourself, these doubts creep up and it can get heavy and you can start to wonder, you know, what is my purpose? Where's my purpose? Do I have a purpose? Am I on track? Am I getting better? Am I getting worse? There's a lot of questions out here and a decent amount of negativity. But let me tell you, as far as the oracle goes, the message from this card, which says Halil, and I didn't know what that meant, honestly, until I pulled the book from the deck, but this reflects the bridge between the spiritual and the physical realm, which is a reminder for whoever's watching this that you are the crossroads. You are the one who walks between the worlds. You've probably heard it said that the mirror of life exists. In other words, what happens above is just like that which is below, and what happens below is like what is above. So the principle of correspondence is working in real time. So what I could even kind of say on top of that is that your purpose on earth is to become more virtuous and spiritual, and you've been working on taking a high road here. So we've got the sacral chakra clarifying the present energy, the cards today, which is saying a guideline for growth is emotion, how we feel. The sacral sits in our abdomen, the lower abdomen, the center of our emotions, our cares. The sacral has a lot to do with that gut instinct. And I yapped and yapped and yapped in the astrology video, my friends, and there's a lot to say about Venus transiting the sign of Virgo and the wisdom of the body. Let's see what our tarot cards are talking about today. The moon in Cancer, that same energy. Trust in your emotions. It says ninth house Cancer too on the astrology dice. The wisdom of the body. The body keeps the score. The body tells the truth. Sometimes you don't know why you feel what you feel, but that inner guidance is always leading you towards something good. Sometimes pleasure and pain can get confused. Some say that is what addiction is. That might have sounded like a stretch, but I hope that connects to somebody. The healing journey is really real. Pain from the past, We see the Fool in reverse, clarifying the Six of Cups. And this is saying that your willingness to connect and collaborate in the past, it may have been colored by some naivety. You may have lacked discernment in your past about who you choose to interact with. So growth for you is being a little bit more cautious with who you let into your energy. We have the Nine of Swords clarifying the Six of Wands in reverse, which is telling me that you may have had some devastating loss when it comes to your past. We're not going to dwell too long on the past, but this is just kind of how the spread works with past, present, future. We're two cards from the present. Devastating loss, fam. Like you feel like you might have even lost yourself at times when it comes to the love or the investment that you made into other people or relationships. The King of Wands, it all built your character, though. You know what they say, Fire Family, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And look at you out here, tough as a bitch, tough as nails. And this also says in clarification of the Two of Cups, this King of Wands is saying that you're choosing your partnerships with way more purpose, way more intention, not haphazardly. You're realizing how inconvenient friends of convenience are. Clock that, man. Consider the vibrations raised. Friends of convenience are very inconvenient in the long run because birds of a feather flock together. You kind of need to think about your life as an experiment in some way. And if you aren't measuring, controlling variables, being considerate of the goal, all of these experiments or experiences, they're going to lead inconclusive results. Or you might not even know that you are learning something because you're just trying to conform and stay the same and not really do anything. But hey, this is the middle card today, guys. The Three of Wands, which says ships are coming in. You've already put in action, and now it's coming back to you. Positive expectancy. Look to the future with hope. Good things are coming. Truly, that's the message today. Hey, good things are coming. Forget this past. Sometimes it's easy when you've had so much heaviness in your experience to assume that it's going to be heavy in the future. Not necessarily. Maybe you just graduated. Maybe you just leveled up. Maybe you just attained a higher level of wisdom. Even if you're at the same point that you thought you were behind in the past, you never restart. You always come to the spot with more wisdom, more experience, more discernment. It is a spiraling path sometimes, okay? So keep that in mind. You have more familiarity with yourself. You have more love. You have more wisdom. You have more will. And that's the beauty. You've gotten a lot smarter. You've gotten a lot stronger. You've gotten a lot sexier. Just better in all regards. If you take an honest look at yourself, man, you can see you are not the same person you used to be. So, hey, these next cards are future, and I'm going to predict them. I'm going to lay it out like oracular divination, but I also want to say, as a Leo sun on my soul, I truly believe, Fire Family, the best way to predict the future is to create it for yourself. So never, ever believe a message that doesn't empower you, okay? We have the Knight of Wands clarifying the future, and this is saying that to get through this restless energy, you're going to want to spend more time and attention on yourself. The knights in the tarot, like the Knight of Wands, Swords, Pentacles, etc., they correspond to the sun, Tippereth on the Tree of Life. And the sun is all about the center of the solar system, aka you being the main character. Are you clocking that? Are you clocking that, Fire Family? I'm seeing the blur. It's giving me the vibe that you may not necessarily know who the fuck you are. And I'm not challenging your intelligence. I'm not telling you that you're not thinking right. It's just to say that you have to learn even more who you are. You get to write the story. You get to define who the fuck you are. Okay? And I think there's a meta message with the way that the technology is kind of blurring in and out, fam. It's like I'm pointing direction at you, but you can't be looking at me for direction. You see what I'm saying? This could only be confirmation for you that you're meant to redefine yourself, that you're meant to spend a little bit more time and attention in crafting yourself. And the idea is not because I'm telling you, it's because you want to do it. It's the fire element, it's intrinsic motivation. You're doing what you want to do because you want to do it. Does that make sense? So somewhere along the lines, the wires got crossed and you started living for other people instead of yourself. That's the issue. The Knight of Wands is about fun. Fire is enthusiasm. Fire is power. So I think instead of asking yourself incessantly, what do I need to do? What should I be doing? You should ask yourself, what do I want to do? It's a slight, subtle difference. It seems innocuous, but it's profound as far as the shift goes. What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do with your time? What do you want to do today? I'm not going to say be neglectful of your life and responsibilities, but consider that life is not always about living for others. And that's really a message coming through in Libra season. We got the Five of Pentacles clarifying the future. There's too much worry in the future, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The card is called Worry, the Five of Pentacles. And honestly, if you want my opinion, guys, I think any amount of worry is too much. Like as a Reiki master, the Gokai, the principles we talk about, never don't worry. Just for today, don't worry. Because by definition, worry is wasting energy. A worry and a concern are two different things. You can affect your concerns, worries are out of your control. So consider where you're worrying, considering where you're wasting energy and fear. If it's not a problem for right now, it's probably not a problem. I'm not telling you not to have foresight, but just understand that you can only do one thing at a time and only be here right now. I'm seeing that maybe you're worried about how people are going to perceive you in context of everything I'm seeing already on the board. And at the end of the day, man, everyone's got an opinion. Everybody's got their judgments. What matters most is how you perceive yourself. Your most important relationship in your life is you to you. That's the only one that's going to be constant throughout the entirety of your life. Damn, dude, we got the Three of Swords clarifying the future as well. And this is what I'm seeing, Fire Fam, is that as you step into a more powerful version of yourself, there is going to be some concern over how do I interact with people? Am I going to be accepted by my everyday friends, my community? You may even have to let go of the past version of yourself, and that brings its own special type of mourning. Where as a magician, as an adept, you periodically and systematically redefine yourself and go through this inner alchemy and embrace change and let things go ritualistically. And I think this is a beautiful sign of the times with us turning the wheel, the equinox, the eclipse is ending, Mabon, Ostara, the Sabbats, that you're learning to let go. Just like the tree, you're going to let the leaves go. So let's talk about the future cards on the very top, and then I'll send you on your way. We got Hod today, and we got Malkuth. So that is the judgment path. For my Kabbalists, you will love this because the path that connects Malkuth to Hod is judgment in the tarot. So it's, I'd have to do the math on it. This is a 78 card oracle that has, of course, the 10 Sephiroth, but a whole bunch of other symbols. And just to get those two that are connecting, the probability of that has to be very rare. That's all I'm saying is that's almost uncanny to see two connecting Sephiroth out of 78 cards. Pretty weird, Fire Family, if you ask me. I like weird, but that's weird. Says Virgo Sun energy in the fourth house. Focus on feeling good about yourself this week, Fire Family. Life is an emotional experience after all. We got the Magician. That's a beautiful sign, which is reflecting that you are in control. You have all the tools. Okay? You're not a fucking fool. This is clarifying the fool in reverse. And I really think in this context, let me remind you guys, Six of Cups, Fool in Reverse, Magician. You're not living for other people. Living for only other people exclusively is not a life to live. It's not. It's just simply not. I'm not going to say to be neglectful or cruel or, you know, offensive to the people deliberately, but at the end of the day, man, you have to prioritize yourself. You are in control of your life. You're the operator of this domain. If the magician isn't a call to do magic, I don't know what is, fam. This is saying to make sure that your rituals make sense to you and that you're focused on synthesis. Maybe simplicity is going to be the key for this week to make sure that you clean your house, your mind. We got the Seven of Cups, so we do have a lot of options. So simplification and synthesis could be key. The energy I'm seeing, which hurts a lot, is confusion. If I could put one word to it, it's confusion. This overwhelming energy of having so many options and not being sure which one to take. And at the end of the day, there might not be a perfect choice. There might not be a right choice. There might not be a wrong choice. The choices just are what they are. You just got to take whatever comes with it. Okay. I think with the magician and the Seven of Cups, there's also something to be said about turning our magic towards healing. The character on the Seven of Cups does look very overwhelmed. It is almost silhouetted, which could be a reflection of the perspective, but deeper than that, I even take that as the emotion that they're feeling, that they may feel heavy with all the options, taken fully into the body or fully out of it. So connecting with the body, I know I mentioned this before, but that's going to be a big thing. The moon in reverse is out here too, guys, which kind of reminds me about the judgment path again, if you're looking at where those sit. But either way, this is saying you're going to have to take time to unravel the mystery of who you are. You're going to need to be patient when it comes to the right relationships and letting the right people come into your life. This also is talking about shadows. So the shadow side of, full dedicated self-preservation and prioritization of self is narcissism. That's the shadow side, okay? And people throw the word narcissism around so much for so little, it almost loses its meaning like a lot of words. But the best way I've understood narcissism and the simplest way to understand narcissism for our family is that if you have to lower other people to make yourself feel better, that's narcissistic. If you can raise yourself up without bringing others down, you're good. Okay. So just be mindful as you go through your self development, as you pursue your own power, love, and wisdom and growth and love. Just make sure that you aren't having to drag people down to feel better about yourself. Because from an evolved state of empathy and understanding, there is no difference between us and others. It's one great spirit uniting us all together. We all weave this web or tapestry collectively, okay? That's the vision of the moon. Everything is serving a purpose, even the things that you may not be able to tolerate or accept. Okay. So whatever you're doing, do it with love and will. We got the Page of Cups clarifying the very middle of the spread, guys. And that's saying don't lose sight of your innocence. Don't lose sight of that childlike wonder. Feel free to create. Be youthful. Be free. Have fun. Enjoy your life. So this is the interesting thing with the High Priestess in reverse, clarifying the Knight of Wands. Is saying that on your character development, you're going to have to defer to yourself. And that's the crazy thing, fam, is that when you have to be the one who is the judge of, is this the right choice? Self-doubt is natural. Remember that. Self-doubt is natural. I can speak from experience, but many of us doubt ourselves because we have options to choose from. But then we look at the doubt as a negative reflection of ourself, not realizing it's natural. It's natural. You have to stop thinking in binaries, in black and white, left or right, up or down, absolutes, and think about probabilities instead, percentage levels. Be a little bit more flexible, be a little bit more cunning on your path of initiation. And another message that comes from spirit, it's coming through my heart, and I know I'm receiving this, and I need to say it for someone who needs to hear it today, is that the direction that you need to take and have even discerned is for you. You may not really want to go there. So the next level of your development is changing yourself in some way, shape, or form, so you actually want to do the thing that's meant for you. or would benefit you. Okay? It's a level up. It's going to change you. It's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to have its own risk, but you'll come to realize that the biggest risk is not taking risk. Okay? Clock that. Clock that, clock that, clock that. You got to learn to cover up your heart so you can block off external energies and then to really listen to that inner guidance with some silence. Okay? Some say your conscious is really the mind of God speaking through you, the universe speaking through you. I'm not religious, but let me call it the universe, right? And just remember, it wouldn't be a test if you had all the answers already. Some say the more you fuck around, the more you find out. We've got the Four of Wands out here, which is about celebration. The last card already came out. Cool. Six of Swords is telling you just keep moving forward. I'm getting the vibe you don't want to be careless with the way that you find fun and happiness in this life. You don't want to make unnecessary sacrifices that impede your future development, but let yourself be happy. Let yourself be satisfied. Let yourself do some things that make you have a good time, even if you're in a state of worry or fear. You got to recognize, even when things are piling up, because that's what I'm seeing with this Five of Pentacles too, is that beyond just, the issue of worry, sometimes things happen that kind of add stress to our lives and add stress to our future. And I don't like this phrase, but some people say, oh, it's always something, because it's always said in a negative way. And it's like somebody gets an unexpected bill and they're like, oh, it's always something. And it's like they're literally recreating that. I don't like that negativity, but it's always something. Yay. Yep. Yay. Get excited. It's always something. We need to have challenges to have fun in life. Yes, we do. In some way, shape, or form. All right. It's not what you're seeing, it's how you're seeing it, Fire Family. It's not what you're seeing, it's how you're seeing it. You could even look at these unexpected bills or these catastrophes that just pop up every now and then as an opportunity to change things in the future. There's our Four of Wands saying that we could celebrate this. You might not be happy about having to deal with some of these quote unquote problems, but all problems come with solutions. And if you focus on that wisdom, you can actually find joy even when you're doing things you might not necessarily want to be doing, you know? Six of Swords out here is just saying push through the pain, clarifying the Three of Swords. Push through the pain. I don't think I said this yet in this reading, but there's something that's been like lingering in the energy since I started the reading, before I even pressed record and pulled the first line, is that I am also seeing the story of somebody who has shifted their thinking. They've changed their perspective. You might have even pulled out a limiting belief, and as a result, you've completely destabilized your entire life. So you may feel mad uncomfortable right now. In some way, there's like an itch that's hard to scratch, but you've evolved. You're not the same as you were very recently. So get excited, fam, because things are falling into place while they may feel like they're falling apart. It says Scorpio, Jupiter, the magic of your mind. And as I say that, Jupiter comes out as the oracle. So now we have the moment of truth. We're going to flip over the last card, Fire Family, and know that it's the Judgment card. Of course it is. Of course it is. Fuck yes, man. The gift is your perspective. Ah, the gift is your perspective. Don't forget to do your meditations this week, guys. Choku Ray every day. Like Frank's Red Hot, I put that shit on everything. The Ankh, keep your energy high, keep your spirits high, keep that Reiki in your life, keep God in your life. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Keep the goddess in your life. It's the age of Aquarius, man. Have a blessed day. I'm grateful to see your face. If you guys enjoyed this video, do leave a like and let me know you claim this message down below. Because I'm seeing you're going to make a lot of abundance just by the powers of your mind. You got a millionaire mind. Don't forget, you're always bigger than your problems. It's not the size of your problems that matters. It's the size of you that matters. Sometimes you have to change your thoughts to change your life. Don't be surprised when things have to change. You changed. Blessed be, blessed we, and peace, Fire Family. I'll see you on the other side.